Gray Wolf 29BH here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We're going to get to see this one two ways today. First at 6,615 pounds in Black Label Edition, along with some other fun upgrades like power stabilizer jacks. And then in a more standard series, which will be a little less weight, a little less money. And the question I just have is, which way would you like your Gray Wolf? At a glance inside one of these Black Labels, you don't really overtly notice any major changes. And that's because really there's not like the exterior, like, holy crap, it's fiberglass now. Like, it's very obvious it's changed. Inside, there's really only two things you're going to notice. You'll see that they lighten up, brighten up just a little bit, the decor of the dinette specifically, the fabric tones. The only other major interior variance that you'll find from the full walkthrough footage you'll see in a minute here is that they go to a solid surface kitchen countertop. One of the neat things about that, you might notice how there's two finger pulls for that sink cover. They're split sink covers. Some people like a single, some people like a split. I suppose, in a way, the standard series versus a little bit of Black Label, razzle-dazzle kind of gives you the choice of one or the other. There are a few more obvious differences out here, but there's also a couple key little things I want to zero in on the Black Label package. Like, it gives us these handy magnet holdbacks for our baggage stores. You'll also see extra exterior lighting like that, big, almost like a toy hauler flood loading light up there next to our bedroom door. So if you do need to peek your head out the window, get an idea what's going on, it gives you some handy little features. There's more than just eye candy that goes into the Black Label package. With that being said, there's a lot of eye candy that goes into the Black Label package. We got that high gloss exterior gel coat, which not as glossy appearance as it could be right now since there's a lot of morning dew and moisture on the exterior. But you can also clearly see you've got the frameless window package going on here. That adds window tint to these things. Now, no matter what, they're always going to be slide awning ready. That is a neat thing that a lot of brands have recently adopted. Black Label's also going to give us aluminum wheels here versus the conventional mag wheels, although I think the standard wheels look pretty good. I just think that those aluminum wheels with that bright kind of shine fit right along with the glossy exterior glass that you're going to find on here. You'll see that in our Black Label series, we also like to add a folding roof ladder. And the reason that folds is so that if you have stuff on the cargo rack like bikes, or if you want to fold that rack up, it gets it out of the way, but it can obviously fold down if you're careful. And I don't recommend doing it this way, but I'm not gonna lie, it's how I do it all the time. If you wanted to, you could actually put your foot right there on that rack and kind of climb your way up, but there is a lot of stuff in the way to trip you. Again, can you do it? Sure. Should you do it? Absolutely not. All LED tail and markers. And beyond that, there's a neat little, well, first I want to look at this outside camp kitchen. We'll see this in more detail, but it blows me away. Our check-in specialist was going, wait a minute, this fridge is huge. How big of a fridge is inside? I said, well, you got 5.6 cubic foot of storage there and an ice maker, plus you have an extra 10.7 inside. This thing has just a ton of cold storage capacity. But over here, next to the entry door handle, they have this raised Cherokee emblem, and that also it has a neat little backlight and accent light around it. It's not really going to do anything other than just look neat itself. It's not going to cast a significant amount of light onto your campsite. I just think it's a neat thing, and I don't think I've talked about it on any of my previous Black Label tours. So, speaking of which, let's get you a full walkthrough video tour of one of these, and then you can let us know which way looks better for you. 6,235 pounds, the Cherokee Gray Wolf 29BH here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is just such an awesome choice for someone that you're looking for, like, you know, the weight of that half-ton towability. You want a private bunkhouse, big outside kitchen, but super slide space for a rainy day, something that's going to last your family more than 2 years. This is an absolutely dynamite way to start your camping days. And with the slide closed, you can actually slip through here. Well, you don't really have to slip through. It's very easy to navigate your way through here. You can just kind of walk right between the sofa and the dinette, weave your way back. Now, that giant U-dinette, it does prevent travel access, at least easily for bigger folks like me, to the bathroom. Maybe a little kid could slip through there, but you can do the butt scoot boogie, and you can slip back through here. So if what you need to do is get this thing packed up and ready to go, she does pass that kind of test. And though there are certainly a couple major updates in here, specifically the refrigerator, Largely, these have remained unchanged, and I'm happy for that. You know, there's some cool decor elements we'll look at. A little bit of the surfaces have changed, but they really kind of stayed right in the same vein as they were before. You've got a completely carpetless main deck here, as you see, and it is also a ventless floor. That's the thing that makes Cherokee Grey Wolf campers fantastic for like families that are really, you know, full of busybody type people. Now, one of the things that they have changed are their window blinds, and these are some of the most like hypnotically cool things. Now, I'm not an interior decorator, but tell me that is just not absolutely awesome. So, you know, you can let as much light or as little light as you want in here, and you see that those things, I mean, you can really line them up, and you can really black out the sun if you want. But they're just really aesthetically pleasing. They look very, very cool. And especially awesome if, you know, you're using your living room as guest extra kid sleeping capacity and you don't, you know, want that sunlight to wake everybody up early and disturb your sleep. Now that sofa, admittedly, a small sleeper. Theoretically capable. Maybe good for, you know, a kid, Labrador, whatever, big dog. But over here, you got a full, what I call true U-dinette, that folds down to like a 7-foot bed that's roughly, I don't know, about 40 inches deep, maybe a little bit bigger. It's been a little while since I measured one. So it can give you some good big guest capacity, or maybe you just need a spot for some big cargo to lay down flat while you're in transit. Not a bad place for it. Now, I'm a guy that likes to give everything a silly name, so I think I'm going to call those the Cherokee Hypno Shades. It's just got a cool ring to it. Anyway, what's also nice here, just like Big Brother Cherokee, Grey Wolf maintains those giant 40-inch full extension dinette drawers so you don't have to tear everything apart to get to it. And whether it is that tabletop right there or the kitchen counter, you're going to find that you have sealed edge counters through the entire RV, even over here on the entertainment center just to my left currently. So if you set a drink up there and it sweats, you know, wipe up the little sweat ring. No big deal. Central air keeps you comfy, and we've got, again, cabinet ducted heat, not floor ducted heat. The skylight letting in some extra light, and there is a shade for that you can pull down if you are so inclined. Now, that refrigerator is one of the few major updates, and it is a big deal. That is a 10.7 cubic foot, 12-volt compressor fridge, rather than the 6 cubic foot gas electric absorption fridge that used to be in here. And if you don't know what any of those words mean, let me boil it down very, very simply. This is 67% more cold storage than you used to have in the exact same camper at the time of this filming, like only 2 weeks ago. So it is fully traveling friendly. If you want to go off grid, it only draws 3 amps. So a 10 amp portable solar package obviously can more than compensate for that thing. Full depth overhead cabinet there, and Cherokee is just absolutely awesome about loading up their kitchen with tons of light so you can always see around in here. We will take a look at the rest of the kitchen from the other direction, but note that with that flush mount sink cover and stove cover, you've actually got some good prep space in here. Moving past these big plywood box drawers, if I use my Paul Bunyan legs to just walk over them, thank goodness I'm tall. Centralized either pantry, linen space, clothing space, etc., whatever you need it to be. Now the bathroom over here, they did a couple small little revisions that I almost missed originally. Like, at a glance, it still looks pretty much the same. I like how that corner right there is wide open though. So if you got big shoulders or big hips, you're good to go. Now there's a light right there just above that sink. It's a motion sense light so that if you need to get in here at night, you can do so without turning on all the main cabin lights and waking everybody up. And thankfully, they are still using that larger, like, Max Air style, full-size vent fan. They've gotten away from tubs. Once again, thank you, Cherokee. They're just on it. They're just on it, you know. You got a shower, not a tub, still have the surround paneling. Huge medicine cabinet, sealed countertops in here, skylight. This bathroom has it all. From there, we're just next door to our bunkhouse, and I like how there's windows for all the bunks, so everybody gets good lighting in here. Extra nightlight for that lower bunk, since it doesn't really benefit as much from that overhead lighting. TV hookups on the rear wall if you let the kiddos bring their own little entertainment. And over here, we have what I call a big kid bed, since it's a little bit wider than a conventional bunk. Now, what that also means is that they've been able to create some extra storage space below it. You can see that heat vent right there. It is actually shocking how many private bunkhouses have no heat vent run to them. It's mind-boggling. It's baffling to me that that's still the case. Now, that rear cabinet, that is deceptively deep. That is some huge storage. Let me get a little closer. Maybe you can get a little better idea of scope and scale. And you can see that obviously you've got a built-in bunk ladder. So you don't got to throw the kids into the bunk and rip your shoulder blades. Or is that a thing? Whatever. It is now. Rip your shoulder blades. Coming out of the bunkhouse, you can see that on that front entertainment wall, we do have dual sliding privacy doors, not curtains. So all sleeping areas have doors, not curtains, which I think is everyone's preference. Should you choose to add a TV to your Grey Wolf camper here from Haylet RV, you can see that you're all set and ready to do so, but they have a very cool, expandable, kind of streaming-friendly entertainment setup here. As it sits, it's a simple Bluetooth stereo. But there's HDMI plugs on the front and one here in this pocket, which makes it very friendly for adding high-def entertainment potential. Whether you're just adding a Roku stick or streaming off your phone or adding a Blu-ray player, there's room to do it. Electric space heating fireplace and clutter-cutting shoe garage are always fan favorites. And in addition to that, bigger refrigerator here in the kitchen, they've done a couple little things specifically kind of recoloring the sink and adjusting their countertop that I think you're going to like. So they've revised the sink cover here and the color of the sink itself. Previously, it's still like a stainless steel, but it's got more of a, I don't know the official name. Again, I'm not an interior decorator. I call it like gunmetal sort of look versus a really bright, aggressive stainless steel. And I think it just helps everything in the kitchen kind of merge and mesh well. Especially nice with that black matte high-rise sprayer faucet hardware, that spring-loaded job that you have right there. And that new stovetop backsplash. I am a fan of the look of that. Now, right between the door and the window, you see you've got household and USB plugs. I mean, there's plugs all over the place in this thing. Now, the sink covers before, they had a little black stopper on the bottom of them to keep them from bouncing around and sliding off in transit. But what they did is they redesigned the actual countertop and they put some notches in this. So it just literally, it cannot go anywhere. You're going to have to roll this camper down a hill to get that sink cover to pop off. And that's not a challenge, by the way. I don't want someone trying to prove that right. I'd rather you just take my word for that one. It's not often that in any sales-related field I would tell you just to listen to the words "trust me," but trust me when I say you don't want to try to prove me wrong there. Big space for a wastebasket below the sink. Dual XL plywood drawers are also another very different find on the Cherokee campers versus a more common set of like 2 or 3 smaller drawers. I think they're a little more like big spatula friendly. Both sides of the bed still have household and USB plugs, but over here they look a little different because what they're doing here, this is a little mount for a Furrion Bluetooth speaker that is not included with the camper. That is something you can probably pick up off Amazon. But at worst, even if you don't use it for that, it's still got a set of USB plugs. So you're no worse off, but you're potentially better off if you choose to add that. And I like how they make that accent wall persist all the way up through the closets there. Now, over here also, next to that mirror to give you lots of light in the bedroom, you can see you've got a huge viewing window so that if you hear Mr. Raccoon, on your picnic table at night knocking over your trash can, you know that it's Mr. Raccoon and not Mr. Bear. Now, while we've seen some really nice updates inside, from the decor touches to that big fridge, very little outside has changed. Frankly, that is good news in this case, because they had their exteriors absolutely dialed in previously and did not fix what was not broken. Thank you, Cherokee, for keeping your finger on that one. Everything that you already knew out here still exists. We still have those seal gripping slide walls, extra thick nose skin, and that integrated A-frame, that custom engineered chassis, which actually allows this thing to have a normal interior height with a reduced exterior height. That's also one of the reasons this has 2 entry steps instead of 3. It just literally rides lower to the ground. Kind of a little less overhead clearance, a little less headwind, a little less topsy-turviness since it has a lower center of gravity. Now you can see one of the things we like to do on all the Cherokee products for which we're able is enclose that underbelly to give you that extra protection. And you can see right above your sewer hookups, you've got all your hookups all centralized in one spot with a very solid, separately switched courtesy light. So you can actually see what you're doing, whether you're hooking up your black flush or using your outside shower or anything at night, you know. Now below the bunks here, you have extra outside storage. They just really didn't waste anything. And I think on this floor plan that is really perfectly positioned, because that's a great spot to keep your like totes for your hookup stuff, whereas you keep your family daily use stuff over in the main like underbed storage area. The cargo rack on the back there has a 200-pound capacity, and you see the spare tire. It's actually an optional piece of equipment. We had every single one of these here at Haylett RV. I hope you never need that spare tire. But in the event you do, kind of like cough medicine, you know, you're really upset if you don't have it and you need it, but you never regret having it if you do. Now between that power awning with those easy tilt arms and the very tall outside kitchen door, this thing actually has some really excellent patio coverage. Now what's cool here is the full-size camp kitchen. You know, the door sort of acts like shelter, so it keeps you out of the sun while you're either doing some cooking or fixing up a drink, or getting inside this giant fridge freezer. So we saw a 10.7 cubic foot fridge freezer inside. Add that to the 5.7 cubic foot fridge outside, and you're over 16 cubic foot of total cold storage. Plus, we also have a dedicated ice maker out here and a real sink with a real drain into a holding tank. That is one of the coolest things about a Cherokee with a camp kitchen. It has, hands down, no questions, no bones about it, more cold storage capacity than literally anything else in this class and category. Frankly, that's more than until you start getting into like Montana, North Point, Pinnacle level luxury fifth wheels. Nobody else has that level of cold storage. It's awesome. Now the awning over here, like I mentioned, it is easy tilt. And what I mean by that is it just takes 2 fingers because, well, it's easy to tilt. Just beep, that's all there is right there. Now, what's kind of cool here is you can see it'll just hold itself. But if you leave it cranked like this for some rainy day runoff, or just kind of tilt the shade a little bit, if it's just, you know, the sunlight's just catching in the eye, you can crank it a little sometimes. It'll sort itself out when you close it. You know, if you leave it cranked like this, you hit the close button, it'll just fix itself right away. And then, if you don't want to wait for that, if you are done with it, you can just manually put it right back up, that simple. If you add a TV inside, that same bracket on the back of the TV that you installed can mount right out here, so you could have, you know, inside-outside entertainment, or I suppose you could have multiple TVs. And those plugs right there connect to whatever's going on inside, so you can have some mirrored entertainment. Really cool on like game day or race day, so you don't miss anything. Anti-slam entry door, doing the good job for us of making sure the wind doesn't catch this thing and the kids don't fling it. Extra large handle, and the LCI stable, pardon me, nope, Moride stable steps, the other stable step company, make it so that the trailer doesn't rock and roll around when people come and go. Very nice, so that, you know, you're not getting seasick here. Now, since this is an anti-slam door, the door can open like further, so that sharp little corner down there, it's not gonna stab the kiddos in the shoulder or the cheek or something when they go running by not paying attention. Or maybe that was just my life when I was growing up. Me and my brother, we were klutzy idiots. Side mount solar prep plug, so that if you choose to bring a solar portable, there we go, panel, you got plenty of space here in this big under bed cavity with that side access door right there to be able to get to everything. And that's the thing. Everything is, you know, big, smart, easily accessible, and highly functional. And that's what's really cool about these guys. The stuff that you're getting in any Cherokee RV, like the massive refrigerators, the sealed edge counters, those stable steps, those are things that don't expire. And that means that this is a branded camper that holds both its usage value and its monetary value very well, because it's not an intangible quality. Like, extended warranties are nice, but they expire and you lose the value on it. The things that are on this camper that make it shine, they don't expire. So if you are looking for something to take care of your family for more than just a couple years, and after, you know, 8, 9, 10, 12 years, you want to swap it out for that, oh, say like that Montana fifth wheel right there behind it here at Haylett RV. This is that brand that'll get you through that extended family period. And it's still going to be worth quite a bit when you're done with it. That's a cool thing. So, as always, remember that we don't do hidden dealer fees, but we do everything else. So whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer, package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, we do it all at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.